So good morning, all of you out there in No Finish Line Nation. It is a Thursday morning, and it is supposed to be beautiful up here in the great state of Maine. And I know that a lot of parts of the country are not necessarily experiencing the same kind of great weather. It looks like the sun's coming out right now through the trees early enough in the morning that I can get a coffee talk out and we can go ahead and discuss some stuff. So yesterday when I was doing a training, so what I did is I traveled all the way up to Bangor, Maine. Got in the road, drove all the way up, and on the way up, of course, I have a lot of road time, a lot of windshield time, and I was just thinking, I was going through, different thoughts in my mind, and last few coffee talks that I've done, one of them was around making sure that you are forgiving yourself and not necessarily living in the muck, but coming out of the muck and forgiving yourself for some of the things that you might think of as things that are bad things, or things that you've done in the past. And that was a really true and powerful response that I got on that piece of it, because I think a lot of people live in that space and didn't really think about the direction that they needed to go in to be able to forgive themselves and be able to put themselves in a better place of where they are today. So it's interesting, again, because we always talk about human nature, the way we're wired, the way we're brought up, and all those things. And all of these coffee talks that we've talked about, especially the self-improvement ones, the ones about, so we can lay out a little laundry list of ones that we've discussed over the past couple weeks. So we talked about making sure that you are posting your why, or posting a positive thing about you, one or two things that you are most proud of, on a mirror, or putting it on the fridge and writing it down to quantify the fact that you should be very proud of who you are and what you've done and who you've become and the journey that you've been on. Even if you're not necessarily surface level proud of something, there should be 1 to 2 things that you can find that you're proud of. Then we talked a lot about the positives and the negatives and creating a habit of talking about yourself in a positive light. So one of the things that we talked about again was, if every time that you have a negative thought about yourself or a negative comment about yourself as you're looking at yourself in the mirror or whatever you're doing, to negate that or counteract that with a positive thought, to be able to get the balance of that pendulum swing to stay in the middle. So that way you're not always in the negative space and treating yourself poorly for the things that you are doing. And then also, if you can get it to swing towards the positive space, then maybe you're more apt to being successful in your journey, in the things that you're trying to accomplish. So those are 2 really major pieces. Then, of course, we elaborated even more to talk about how you are to invest in others. I know for me, my journey, these are only things that have worked for me, of course, but in my journey, I've lost about 47 pounds on the new Liquid Shano 1973 login through Connect. And I know that not everybody that's on this podcast is on Weight Watchers, but that's what I'm doing. And I've lost about 47 pounds on that. On my previous login that I was a part of, I lost about 50, so about 100 pounds. And during that time frame that I have lost that weight or been focusing on my health, these are all the things that have really helped me along the way. And one of the biggest things that helped me along the way was also, on top of all those other things, keeping your why close, positivity, those things, is investing in others. So basically volunteering once a month, twice a month, and sometimes 3 times a month at a food shelter, cleaning up some trails, doing different stuff around the state to be able to give back to others, to be able to make sure that others are afforded the ability to be able to enjoy life and be able to move forward, which in turn will then invest in my heart. And if I'm eating food for the soul, along with food in the mouth, and then food for the brain, that's my 3-pronged approach that I always try to take when I'm in this journey and doing things like that. So yesterday we talked a lot about, when I was driving all the way up to Bangor, I got to, I was actually in Brewer, right outside of Bangor. So I got to the place where we're going to do a facilitation, and we had, maybe around 40 people in the room, and we are going through a training session. And the training session is with a bunch of business owners, along with some of their leaders that are there. And we are talking about ways to be able to elevate the performance of the business. And we discussed certain tools that they could use and certain things that we have provided them as our company to be able to help them be successful, to move forward, to give them a good game plan. And so we called them investments in their business. And one of the big things that we talked a lot about is that sometimes when you make an investment in your business, it sometimes doesn't feel all that great when you're making an investment in a business. But you know that the outcome at the back end is going to be something that is fruitful, it is profitable, and it will elevate your performance in the end. So as we were discussing that, I went through the whole day. We went through the whole day of training. And it was a great session and got a lot of compliments on the facilitation piece and the engagement and the amount that we were talking about profitability with these businesses and all that stuff. So that's all business mumbo jumbo. So I got in the car and I was driving back home and I sat there and thought about to myself, that's so relatable to what I was just talking about to them, about their business, to us and our health journey. Because it takes investments for you to be able to gain rewards off of what you're trying to invest in. Think about this. So a lot of times we always think if you want to lose weight or you want to, trim up or those kind of things with whatever you're doing, your mindset always says, if I eat less calories, I will probably lose weight and I will get to where I want to be. Then I was thinking to myself, you have to invest in yourself and the plan that you're trying to work on. So whether it's an eating plan that you want to go on, whether it's a certain calorie intakes or whether it's certain types of proteins or certain types of things, and you invest and you study and you start to really kind of look at what you're doing and come up with a plan to be able to be successful moving forward, that investment, that initial investment that you're making and the work that you put into that will pay off in the long run because it's going to set you up for success in the future. And now, I didn't really think of it that way because I thought of as business-wise, that's what we do, and that's how we have to do it to be able to stay profitable and be able to reap the rewards of our work. Same exact concept. You have to invest in the beginning for you to build a framework, build a habit, build structure, build all those things for you to be successful moving forward, and also build a plan B. Because if plan A isn't working, then you got to slide a little bit to plan B to make sure that you can continue to push forward in, just like in business, elevating your performance and reaping the rewards of what you've worked at. So initial investment is important. You have to think to yourself, how am I going to set myself up for success? Now, some people might look at it, and I know a lot of times I do bring a lot of business acumen in with the health-related acumen because that's the way that I'm wired and that's how it works for me. Because I feel like my strength is in building business, being a consultant to business owners, and really talking about profitability, profits and losses, those kind of things. Well, it's the same exact concept for me because I have to treat this like a business. If I want long-term positive results, I need to invest a lot into my business. So I need to really focus. How many times have you heard us say, if you put in half-ass efforts, you're going to get half-ass results? Same thing in business. If you're not investing in things like marketing scheme, or you're not investing in things like product, or you're not investing in things like point of sale systems and things like that to be able to service customers or service the needs of the person that's going to be buying into what you're selling, if you're not investing in that fully, and diving in smartly, but diving in, you're not going to reap the rewards. And you'll only get half of what the returns are that maybe Joe Schmo down the road is that's investing lots of dollars in those kind of things. So think about that today. What are you investing to be able to get a return on your investment? How much are you investing? Are you really putting everything you need to into this journey that you are on? So whether it is a weight loss journey, whether it is a muscle gain journey, whether it's a toning muscle journey, whether it's a work-related journey, whatever the journey is, are you investing everything you need to make sure that you set yourself up for success in the future? That should be a question that you ask yourself every day when you wake up in the morning and you set yourself and prepare for the day. Now, you see pictures on No Finish Line Nation, our Facebook page, or you see pictures on Connect, which is the Weight Watchers platform. You see all these photos of people that are prepping like crazy, prep bossing, making sure that they're setting themselves up for success. Now, some people aren't wired that way, and I get that piece of it. So you control what you can control. If you have certain things that you need to do outside of prepping and making sure your meals are all done to set yourself up for success, such as setting appointments in your watch to be able to step up and do 1,000 steps, or setting appointments in your watch to make sure that you do snack or you do eat lunch. If you're stuck at a desk and you normally get 8 hours later, you realize, oh my goodness, I should have eaten, when you really should be eating small incremental amounts throughout the day to just keep your body flowing, keep everything good, keep everything, going. Or what if it's just a reminder that you got to drink some water? I mean, the concept is that if you keep yourself hydrated, your body will be able to fight back disease, fight back different stuff, and then also be able to stay extremely healthy when it comes to weight loss. So what are you doing to prepare yourself for tomorrow? Are you prepared to be able to be successful? Think about that today. What's your prep work look like? Now, like I said, you don't have to be the prep king. You don't have to be somebody that boxes everything up and being able to put all your bird balls off to the side over here, or your salads over there, your beans over there, and whatever else to be able to track your meals. But what about putting a plan together at the gym? Specifically writing it down on a detailed list of, this is what day this part of my body I'm going to work out. This is what day this part of my body I'm going to work out. And I'm going to go ahead and put down these little checklists to be able to make sure that I can follow through with that to set myself up for success for the future. Same exact thing with things like running. If I want to build up for like Couch to 5K, think about the Couch to 5K program. A lot of people are on that and they're very successful with that. And it's incremental amounts that they want you to work up. And then there is a little reminder that's put out on your phone. And then as you're doing your walk, run, and you're building your stamina up to where you need to, it reminds you along the way. Guess what that's doing? That's investing. That's investing in the preparation for where you have to get to. It's not going all in with the 5K. It's preparing you. It's getting yourself to where you need to be. It's prepping you so that you know what the expectations are. You know what your goals are. You know how you're going to get there. And you're going to take it incrementally to get there in the long run. So think about that today, okay? I know it works for me, and I know it's important to me to make sure that I set myself up for success with whatever week that I'm on. Some weeks I do prep with my food. Some weeks I don't. But I'm going to prepare myself in other ways to make sure that I am successful. Prep work before you go to a restaurant. Prep work before you go to the gym. Prep work before you go out for drinks with the girls. Whatever it is, prepare first, and then you will set yourself up for success moving forward. Have a great day, everybody.